Hello there, friends. Happy day to you. Welcome back to Life in the Higham house. It's Jay here, and it's a little early this morning, but I got a lot to do today, and so we're getting started. I've been putting off starting my second round of seeds far too long. I should have had them in at least by last week. But with Easter and the rains and the floods and all that stuff last week, didn't get a chance to get everything in there. But today we're going to start with our second run of vegetables. And I'm switching things up. If you remember the last time that we started some seeds, I'll leave the link to that episode here on the screen somewhere. But if you remember last time, I had said that we were going to do a number of things in the ground. We were going to direct plant into the ground. But then I saw some folks who were starting some of their vegetables in pots and in little pods. And I thought it might be a good idea to try to start some of these in these pods so they can get started in the greenhouse and have a better chance at doing a little better when I actually go to plant them. And so one of the things I was going to plant directly into the ground were my lettuces and my peas. And I was kind of surprised to actually see these folks planting lettuce and peas and beans in pods. I thought that was always something that was a direct plant. I know you can get them at nurseries. I know you can start them off in pots. But I just always thought it was better to start them in the ground. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to experiment this year. We did a couple of years where we tried to do some peas, and they worked in the peat pots, and then we transplanted them. And they did fairly well. Lettuce one time we started and it didn't take. Ended up wasting the pods. Just wasn't a good match. So we're going to try today. I've got 2 of my Jiffy greenhouse kits left. Remember, we bought these 2 to replace the 2 that are getting old and starting to crack. I still would like to get 2 more. The problem is they're so expensive now. I got to wait and see if I can get them here before they're too hard to find, and they're even more expensive because if you try to order them online, they are crazy expensive. But I have 2 of them left, and so what I want to do is start some of my lettuces in one, and then start some of my peas and beans in the other one, and see if I can't get them to start to sprout and to get leafy, and then they're gonna go in the ground. So it's only April 10th today. We are still seeing some cold temperatures, but I think we are through our frost. Although there's a chance, I think our frost isn't supposed to come until late in April. We are seeing slightly warmer weathers, and so my hope is that we are beyond the frost. Again, I won't plant anything in the ground probably until May 1st, or traditionally around Mother's Day. But if I can get another pot or another tray of green plants going, it might be easier for me to plant them directly as leafy plants and not as seeds. And then maybe that'll help speed up some of the harvest, because according to my chart, we should have some of these things already started. So if you remember last time, I had this great chart that I got offline. Description for that is in the link below. Plus I have a blog article about our planting, and I've got resources on that too. I'll leave that link below. But we should have already started some of these things, and so we're going to go ahead. Lettuce, kale, peas, spinach, they should have all been started, and I haven't gotten to them yet. So we're going to in fact, they should have been started in March according to this chart. So we're going to start them. And then with the hopes of being in about 4 weeks, it's about from now until Mother's Day, we will have a plant that's ready to plant into the ground. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I learned from last time, it's kind of boring to watch me actually do the planting. If you want to see me actually do the planting, you can go ahead and click back to our first planting vlog for this year. Time to start the seeds. You can watch that. I'm going to do the same thing I did in that video. I'm going to do it here. Only this time, right now, all I'm going to do is just show you what I've got. Oops, sorry about the camera drop there. I'm going to show you what I've got, what I'm planting, and then the end result, just to save some time and not make this quite so boring for you. Plus, I got to get this done because I only have a small window of time this morning to do it. So here's what I'm planning. On this one here, here's what I'm looking at starting. I've got some kale. We've got spinach. We've got some lettuce. This is leafy lettuce. I've got some iceberg lettuce. Never been successful at growing iceberg lettuce, but we're going to try. I've got some red cabbage. I've got some green cabbage, and that's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna try to get at least 1 to 2 rows of each, and we'll see how we do on that, and then we'll look at the next thing, the peas and the green beans. So let's get started with this. Here's what we're doing. One last look. All right, let's get on it. So the next trays are ready to go. Just put them into the greenhouse up top here on the top shelf. And we'll check them back in about a week or so. We should hopefully start seeing some sprouts popping up. I don't want to open up the greenhouse again. I should have kept it open for just a few seconds, but I just want to give you a quick update for the first 2 trays that we did. You can see here through, it's kind of hard to see. Or maybe over here. Nope, maybe there. First tray is doing really well. Second tray, about half of the tray sprouted. So I don't really know what's going on with that one. I did find that the lid was off for a little while. And so I wonder if, because the lid was kind of ajar, that it didn't have that proper germinating time for all of the seeds to kind of do what they need to do. It's the only thing I can think of, because as soon as I fixed it, like, the seeds sprouted within a couple days. So I don't know what's going on. I don't think we're going to see anything grow at this point. So those will be a waste. So I'll have to go through and see what it was that I planted in that particular one, because I can't see the markers. I'll have to go back and see exactly what's in that one, and then figure out what we need to replant. Fortunately, I still have a ton of seeds that we can still start. So the plan is, since tray 1 is doing so well, we will probably need to put them into small pots, probably this weekend. And then whatever plants are looking good in tray 2, they will also go in pots. And then I will refill those 2 trays. I think I have enough pods left I know I can do at least 1. And then we'll start the next round of seeds. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to start yet. So far, we've got our tomatoes. We've got things like beets. They're finally coming up. I definitely want to do everything I can to save the beets. We've never been successful at growing beets. The broccoli definitely needs to be transplanted. It looks really good, but I got to get it into another plant. So this weekend we have to do some planting, and I think that'll be really good. And then we got our green beans started, and we've got our lettuces started. So we'll see how all of that goes. I'm excited about it. Hopefully they all take, and we get some good varieties of lettuce. And so again, we planted iceberg, leaf lettuce, spinach, kale, and cabbage. I had that red cabbage, but when I opened up the package, there were like 3 seeds in it. I don't know if it was just a bad envelope, didn't get all the seeds that was supposed to have put in it, but there were 3 seeds. So I ended up planting those 3 seeds with the hopes of we getting at least 1 red cabbage plant. And then in the rest of the pods that I had left over, I just filled them with cabbage. And I did that for 2 things. One, we're learning how to use cabbage, like coleslaw and different things. But 2, cabbage is a great feeder for the chickens. So I could put a head of cabbage in the run, and that's a great treat for them. It's an activity that keeps them entertained. I hang it from a chain. You probably have seen, I have a short on YouTube of them attacking. I think that's a head of lettuce, but I do the same thing with cabbage. I hang cabbage in there, and it's a great kind of entertaining thing for them. It stimulates them, it gets them doing something, and it's a great treat for them. And so part of what I want to grow in the garden this year is something that we can use for feed for the chickens. We do a pretty great job of using scraps, and then I've got layer crumbles, but I'm looking to see if we can't grow some more things that will then be food for them, and maybe cut back on some of the expense we have in getting feed for them. Moved the chicks today. Look at this. Brought out the old kiddie pool the ducks used to have and set them up inside today. Only because we've got some rain in the forecast for today and tomorrow, and their brooder bin that I use for them is getting too small for all of the chicks. They're getting big, and I'm not quite ready to move them outside yet. Hopefully we can get some work done on the coop, and our plan is to expand the coop to receive double the amount of chickens, and then by the time I get that done, those chickens should be ready. So a really productive morning here for the backyard farm. Another tray, 2 other trays of seeds started. Chickens are doing great. The big chicken's doing great. I posted on our social media Sunday and Monday. Sunday we got 13 eggs from the 14 chickens. Monday I brought the eggs in, and we had 12. When I went back out to put the chickens to bed, there was another egg. So technically Monday was a 13 egg a production day. So Sunday 13, Monday 13, Tuesday we ended up getting 6. And I'm tracking all of this to try to keep a record of how we're doing egg wise. Like if there's a cycle or a rotation, what does that look like? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm tracking that. But it's really cool to see the girls doing such a great job laying eggs. And so hopefully we'll be able to start sharing some of those eggs here in a little bit, because I don't know, we use a lot of eggs, but we do have a few dozen left over. So we won't go into like high egg production just yet. But once these other chickens are ready to go and bumps us up to 28 chickens, we should be seeing easily 2 dozen eggs a day, and I'm super psyched for that. And then we will have some chicken eggs, some fresh eggs that we'll be able to share with folks. So, all right, my friends, I'm just going to do it for today. Just Ducky Farms. That's our little backyard farm, and so far so good. Sprouts are looking good. Seeds are in. Chickens are doing great. We're going to be planning out to get our meat birds here soon. Got to look to see on our calendar when I can get them, so that I can be here for the 6 to 8 weeks to actually feed and raise them up. So I guess I'm planning to do on that, but hopefully pretty soon we'll get some meat birds. And I'm still trying to get some turkeys. I want to get at least 2 turkeys, so we can begin getting them ready for Thanksgiving. I think we still have time. We did it once before. We got turkeys mid-spring, and they were ready to go by Thanksgiving. They were big turkeys. So hopefully we can still do that. And if I can swing it, I mean, we're just Ducky Farms. We need ducks. Haven't gotten them yet. May wait one more season. I might get them. What do you think? Should we go ahead and get a couple ducks? They're a lot of work. A lot more work than the chickens are. I'll have to think about that. But tell me what you think. Should we get some some ducks, or should we not get ducks? Should we just focus on the chickens right now? It's kind of weird to call ourselves Just Ducky Farms or Just Ducky Farm if we don't have any ducks. That's the weird thing. I don't know. See what we'll do. All right, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these type of vlogs, you want to follow us as we do our garden, as we raise our chickens, as we develop eggs, as we think through turkeys and meat birds. We're learning a lot. We're sharing a lot. What I learn, what I do, I'm sharing right here on the vlog. So if you're just starting out like me, join us. We can learn together. Share your comments, your experiences, what you're learning down in the comments below, and I'll read them and share what I'm learning. But love doing this. The spring is just about here. We're going to be getting into the gardens pretty soon. I was talking to Amy about the big garden I want to do in the lower part of the yard. She's cool with it. So we're going to dig up a huge patch of ground so that we can do a fairly massive garden down there. In fact, if you're somebody local and you have a rototiller or a tractor with like a tiller on it, man, I'd love to talk to you because I'm looking at a big stretch of land and I don't think my little soil turner is going to do it. I might need some help on that. So if you're local and you have one and you're willing to come over and share it, I'll give you some fresh eggs. How's that? You come and till up my ground, I'll give you a dozen or two of eggs. Would that be a fair trade? All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time right here, Life in the Higham House. Later.